Welcome and hello and welcome. I come to you with an urgent message. The message is, wait for it. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. I wrote a little lounge act gonna go on the road, doing a little Sinatra, a little jazz. Welcome and hello. When you're a boy on the town, you say welcome. No, guys. Welcome and hello and welcome. It's un poco mas. I'm not going to run my variety act at you. It's just a little bit too early in the day for that. We haven't had enough coffee. I've only had, I would say, 3 cups of coffee, to put it charitably. But welcome and hello, guys. It's un poco mas, where sometimes we give you a little bit more. Sometimes we just completely, drop the ball. But it is what it is, guys. What's up, Chris? Capital C, Chris. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bien. ¿Y tú? A biblioteca. ¿Tacos? Yo quiero tacos. Do you have tacos? I would like 3 tacos. Soft tacos, hard shell tacos. I don't care what kind of tacos you have. Fish taco, I love fish tacos. Carne asada tacos. Carnitas tacos are a personal favorite of mine. This body is built by carnitas. It's pork fried in lard. Guys, welcome and hello. What's up, Vladi Z? What's up, Lisa? What's up, Clap My Dog? So Nio, it's been on this wild ride, guys. It actually got dragged in Hong Kong, down about 7% following the day on the US, and then really kind of going after it again here today. Volume actually a little bit down, if you can say that, at 67 million shares traded. But what I've seen, guys, is the borrowing is just completely out of control and unsustainable. And you don't think a stock with 13% interest is like short squeeze eligible, but trust me, guys, these guys are getting more of a short squeeze than a, pocket pool on prom night or whatever you want to call it. But listen, 3 million more shares borrowed today, 1.8 borrowed yesterday. So there's only supposedly, and I think this number is low, but there's only supposedly 167 million shares short, but 375 million shares on loan. They just keep dumping day after day at this like 20-degree down bubble. It's completely unsustainable. The demand for these shares in Asia is massive. I mean, shares average on the Hang Seng index used to be like 1 million, 1.5 million. Now they're trading 10 million shares a day. It's all buyers. It's all buyers on the Hang Seng. You weak sauce freaking turds. And just note this. If you could just note something, can I emphasize something? Cost to borrow max 19%. When have you ever seen that? That number is usually like 3. Oh, guys, I mean, this is a great example of mechanics that just went too far, in my opinion. Like, why? So you have a stock, it was what, in the 60s? I mean, this thing was all the way up. I don't know what the very max was. I think it was like 65 plus. And so you short it, you drag it down. I know the whole market came down like this, whether it was SoFi or any of these other EV stocks. I'm not saying Nio's unique, but I'm saying some of these market makers are so late and so slow and on such a broken down short bus. You're like, why do you continue to borrow and short this thing from 4? Why don't you flip? And then you have so many people buying these calls, they have no choice but to just continue to dump and borrow. Excuse me, I hit my microphone there. Technical difficulties. Quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Unique New York. Okay, we're back online here, folks. We've got Forrest L in the house. Forrest L, good to see you. Yeah, I'm good, man. Chris, Clap My Dog, welcome and hello everybody. Very few people watching this broadcast. What else is new? A select few, a cult-like audience, similar to the early seasons of the X-Files. Or everybody's, no, I always liked Breaking Bad. No, I always knew about it. Yeah, no. I just never talked about it, but I was always watching. I didn't just binge watch it on Netflix. I watched it early on AMC. No, I don't have cable, but I watched it. I had like a satellite hookup out of Europe, and I always loved it. Like, why do people claim they have to like love every popular show, even if they clearly don't? Don't you guys just love Yellowstone? No, fuck you. I hate you. I hate everybody. I hate Kevin Costner. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. No, I don't really hate Kevin. Tin Cup was pretty good. I mean, he's made some good movies, but it's always the same thing. I'm fond of you, Annette Bening. I don't know how to say it. I'll be back in 12 months. It's like, I'm a grown-up. I'm 50 years old. Just because my brother's the doctor doesn't mean anything. I'm fond of you, Sue. It's like Annette Bening's like, is this I Am Sam? Like, who am I playing against here? Like, I'm worth $800 million. Like, no, I love Kevin Costner. He's a good guy, bright guy. Anyway, done a lot of good work, a lot of quality work. He deserves every bit of success he has. As does Ben Affleck. Excuse me. Very talented, very talented. I'll tell you, Shia LaBeouf has more talent in his left nut than Ben Affleck has in his entire forehead. And what does that have to do with Nio Stock? Not much, guys, but I was working a little bit late in the evening, then woke up and started working like 2 a.m. or something, started drinking coffee, right around 4. Oh, was that 3 cups or was it 8? I don't know. We've got Amaxion. Why short a stock? That's what I'm saying. Like, don't you know when there's no more meat left on the bone? Don't you know when to quit? Don't you know when you've had enough of a good thing? You short it from 65 down to 350 and you just keep shorting? What do you think you're going to bankrupt this company? Are they that stupid? They have an unlimited supply of money out of the Middle East at favorable terms. They have an unlimited supply of money from the Chinese government at favorable terms. The deliveries are exploding. They're delivering this incredible sub-brand on time. They're getting a ton of orders. The margins are improving. They have incredible partners for battery swap network. They're making their own freaking chips. They have that little Nomi. Hello, it's Nomi. Hello. Why short this thing from the 3s? What is wrong with these people? I mean, I'm all for, like, do whatever you want. I'm not one of these people that says there shouldn't be any shorting. There should absolutely be shorting. It's important for a number of reasons, but I mean, if people have the courage of their convictions to buy these lows, which they don't because we're a bunch of weak sauce turds for the most part, these shorts would already just be getting slaughtered. And they were trading like 200 million shares, churning, borrowing. I mean, look at this move. You can't really see it, but I got to pull up the other, let me pull up the chart here, guys, and we'll take a little look-see. But, I mean, this angle, guys, it's been just incredibly consistent day after day after day. Just this pop. You get the pop in Hong Kong, sells off here, the gap up, gap down, but the demand is not subsiding in Asia. People in China, I mean, you see the videos on YouTube, Mr. P, other guys, the showrooms in Onvo are just overrun. They have former Tesla managers. The Chinese government is clearly setting this thing up to go after Tesla, to go after the world, to own the battery swap standard. I mean, they're in the bag for Nio. How much more obvious could it be? And you're going to short this thing under 4? I mean, it was so apparent. I know they're like, they're running low on cash. Things, there's going to be more burn for at least a year until they're profitable. Guys, you're talking about shorting the fucking Chinese government. That's it. I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but that's it. They are pushing this thing. Battery swap is not going anywhere. CATL acknowledges it. All these huge companies that are building these swaps for Nio, Sinopec, others, Shell, I think, European oil companies, Chinese oil companies. The solar companies are on board. The power grid is on board. Different provinces are on board. Why do you think Nio makes this commitment? They're going to build swap in every single county, every single province, all through China, even the rural ones that aren't populated or barely be used. The government is telling them what to do. And they're saying, you do these things we want you to do because, of course, you have no choice. And we're going to propel you and support you to become a giant worldwide company. That's my thoughts. Penny for my thoughts. You give me a penny for my thoughts, you'd have change coming. Jeff Presley is here, guys. I was going to pause. I was going to reset. I was going to reset my chakras and get things back online. But Jeff Presley's here. So we're clear to go on. Lisa's here. We got, who else is here? Clap My Dog. I joined last week. I'll buy more. Yeah, guys, it's a good, nobody's really working in the comments. It's, this show's weak. Like, let's face it. So perfect. Let me, I don't know what else to really take a look at here. Like, if you think, like, here's what I'm talking about. Aggregate short volume ratio, last 3 days. I mean, last 5 days, one day it went up probably like 4 days ago. I don't even have to look because you know it did. Because this stuff is completely tracks the price action. People are like, oh, you pay too much attention to the shorting and borrowing. Like, look at the chart. I don't pay too much attention to it. You don't pay enough attention to it. This is how these guys control the short-term price action, killing all these calls. What do you guys don't think this is connected? Look at the volume. Look at all these idiots buying these calls at 7. Short-dated calls. You had to sell these things on the pop early in the week. I keep telling you that. There's no problem buying calls. Sell the pop and take the profit. Don't hold these things to the end. You'll end up walking the plank. You have nowhere to go. You're out of real estate. It'll be like one of those movies where you have like one toe off the plank and they're coming at you with the sword, the saber, just poking you. Where do I go? Johnny Depp ain't coming to save you. You ain't Keira Knightley. You're some ugly, middle-aged, out-of-shape dude driving Uber as a side hustle, trying to pick up some extra shares. But you're a weak sauce turd. You're probably balding, saving up Papa John's pizza coupons for your future, but then your Papa John's went out of business from the scan. Oh my God, I love Papa John's. Like that Papa John's closing was one of the most traumatic events in your life. That's what a big loser you are. I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's just a funny thing because I was talking to a friend of mine who's so sad because it's the Papa John's. So I was trying to write like a comedy bit about that, but yeah, didn't go anywhere, as you can tell, as you can clearly tell. Let's see. Would you look at Nio's ADRs in the US, elsewhere? How about writing puts? Yeah, I mean, geez, it's okay. Here's the thing about volatility and options. Like, volatility is your friend in that you're going to get more premium when you write the options. Of course, if a stock is just flat, it's not going to be that much options activity. It's not going to be that juicy because it's pretty predictable and there's just not that much meat on the bone. There's not that much activity. People, if there's not a lot of volatility, market makers don't have to hedge. And that was the kind of original purpose of options, was more of a hedging vehicle rather than a gambling betting vehicle on its own. Just, I'm going to buy calls every week. Oh, it's going to go up this week to the moon. Rocket ship. I have a tiny wiener. Oh, Kendrick Tillman. EM is the one buying. Who's EM? Sorry. That's probably obvious again. Some of these things I just don't think of. And again, I got probably a couple hours sleep. Yeah, just take the wrench from J Money. It's time. Not a lurker. Not a lurker. Come as go as he pleases. You guys have no idea the kind of work that goes into putting on this show. Not a lurker's even here when he's not here. Mr. Wang, always here. It's like, what about that guy, Seinfeld? He just got here. Oh, no. Very rich customer. Lives on Central Park West. Seinfeld at like the Chinese restaurants is so ridiculous. Oh, no, he's very good customer. SoFi Bull watching Danny talk about the guy from Matrix because I like Danny. Potential to splatter. Your restroom habits are your own, but yeah, I mean, guys, Nio is just super unique. I mean, it's by far, far, far ahead in battery swap stations, battery swap technology, but there's so much more going on under the surface of this company. I mean, nobody's buying puts here. I mean, look at this thing. Puts are weak. I mean, these are older, trust me. They're not pushing it down. People like, somebody was telling me in the comments, like, I'm going to load at 6. Good luck with that, horse. I mean, I don't think that's happening. I mean, they're pushing back down, but this just keeps happening. This volatility, this is what I'm talking about. It's like you write puts, you write calls. I mean, you're going to get more premium, but this thing could go way up or way down any given day, any given second. I mean, went up like 80% in less than a month, 75, 80%, and it'll probably retrace back down before it goes up further. But I'm looking for 15, guy. I mean, up in the 60s, it was obviously ridiculous. The fundamentals were bad. The deliveries decreased. The margins got terrible. It should have been hit. It probably should have gone down to, 10 area, 12. Even if you handicap it as, this sort of anti-Chinese sentiment, because there is extra risk over there, political risk, regulatory risk, but they're also, massively subsidizing these companies, especially Nio. So that's very, very good. They're allowed to grow without going into debt, without using their own capital, without a lot of dilution. The last deal was a great example of that. But these guys just continue to borrow these shares. I mean, I feel like a big announcement. XPeng announced a partnership, I believe, is like with VW. I think the stock went up like 20%, 25% before it retraced back a bit. I mean, at the end of the day, those deals don't have any flesh. They have to be implemented over a period of years. They don't mean anything right away. But the announcement could, crucify the shorts. Send this stock up 20%. It's game over. 400 million shares on loan, cost to borrow max 19%. There will be some panic in some cheap suits and non-corner offices in some third-rate hedge funds. Not in Manhattan, but in I don't know where. Milwaukee? Probably Miami. That's where these guys relocate their firms who are just brash and wear those sunglasses that go from light to dark, depending on how much sunlight there is. Those are the kind of guys that are shorting Nio. The kind of guys that are still getting perms. Hey, I'm going to take what do you like, a little trim? No, I'm going to take a perm, and I'm going to go ahead and short some more Nio shares. Let me call my broker. It's a broken system, guys, and I'm a broken record. I didn't really have anything to say about Nio in the first place, but I don't know. I don't think this is like a full breakdown for like rallies over. I mean, I don't see it. It's still, right here. It's still right in this area. It's still above all this traffic. Still making highs, year highs for this entire year. So this could easily be a little bit of consolidation. You just see the volume is just insane. It's insane. The green, the accumulation. You have this level of accumulation into this level of borrowing. I mean, something has to give there, guys. They're at loggerheads, as they say. It's a Mexican standoff, as I like to say. There's just, I know there's like 2 billion shares, but there's not an unlimited number of shares. And retarders are locking these things up. I mean, no retarder in his right mind is going to sell his shares below 15 when they know this thing went into the 60s when things were like 10 times this bad. Things are looking good. As Nio says, blue skies ahead. It's blue skies ahead, guys. And they just keep borrowing. Just keep borrowing and shorting and killing. Because they're haters. No, I mean, they're making money, guys. They're killing all these calls. There's a ton of calls. Obviously, they can do math. They know, hey, we hold it down. We spend this amount of money. We kill the calls. We make this amount of money. We short. We make the, they can do math. But I don't think they predicted this level of demand coming out of Asia. Yeah, I think Chinese people, different people in Asia who really see what's going on the ground and see the energy with Nio want to accumulate these shares. And it's the third-rate cokehead hedge funds, these guys who just want to short this thing, who don't understand anything about the fundamentals. They just look at the chart and they're like, oh, it fell from 60 to 3. Let's keep shorting. Anyway, guys, I got to run. You guys have a great day, and I'm going to come back a little bit later and talk to you about SoFi. But for now, it's the Nio stock. It's down 45 cents on the day to $7.76. 71 million shares traded on the day. Thanks for watching, guys. It's Un Poco Mas. It's Danny Deals. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.